Hi, Charlie. Yay. Hi, Belle, Laquana. I'm so excited y'all are here. She should be calling in any moment. All right. And just so people know, we are gonna, we're gonna run it kind of like, just like an open conversation. But if you do have questions, we are gonna leave the last, yay, there's Marjani. Here we go. Yeah, we're gonna leave the last, most likely, yay! Hi!
Hi!
You wanna flip over?
Oh, my sideways.
You're sideways. Yay. Hello.
Hi.
Love it. Oh, no. I need that. I need that. Don't take my, actually, I wonder if we take you sideways, is that going to make everybody crazy? Because then.
I don't feel like you're not sideways.
Well, now we're both sideways together. I think that it kind of like makes the comment sideways, but.
It doesn't.
It actually makes it easier.
It's strange. It's okay.
Let's do it.
Right.
That'll be something I will figure out technologically next week. I am learning new things every week.
Well, see where I am.
Where are you? What's happening?
Well, that's a story.
Are you in a garage?
I am in a garage that's becoming a sound studio.
Oh, nice.
A music recording studio, excuse me.
Yes, I love it. Oh, Gail is here. Oh my gosh, there's so many people coming.
Hey, beautiful humans.
Yay.
This is awesome.
It's so awesome. So what we're gonna actually jump in. Oh my God. Okay, that was my my makeshift tripod. I need to buy a tripod. So, but we're gonna go ahead and like talk and chat and hang out. Yay!
Okay.
Hi, Jose Richard. For the first about 45, and then like leave the last 15 minutes to have people ask questions and kind of help direct the conversation. But also, if people do have anything super pressing, I'm still trying to be good at multitasking while I'm talking to people. But we can try to jump in and see if there are any urgent questions that come up during the conversation. But Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you, Marjani, for being here. We're so excited.
So happy to be here.
So happy to talk with you. So this is Place at the Table. It's a conversation series that we just started about a month ago. Have been talking to mama artivists, incredible mama artivists, and it's amazing because I've been realizing just even through these conversations that how many incredible mama artivists I know in my life that I don't even have to like literally just closing my eyes and be like, who should I talk? Oh, and then like a million of us that I feel like, am I frozen or am I totally frozen? Can you see me? Yes.
No, you're there. Sorry.
Okay, good.
Call came in. Yeah.
No worries. So being able to, just being able to have an opportunity to check in, connect, share knowledge, ask questions, be a hot mess together, be also like fully functional and amazing together. I know that this has been a lifeline for me to be in conversation with all these incredible women over the last few weeks of what we've been dealing with. I think you're frozen, Marjani, but I'm hoping you're going to come back in a second.
I'm frozen.
Oh, you are. Oh, I know, but I can hear you, but you're like you're still. So I'm hoping.
What should I do? Should I hang up and call back and dial back in?
No, I think it might move in a minute. I mean, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe move your phone, maybe shake it, hold it up to the sky for a second. See if that'll work.
Let me know when I'm back.
Okay, I'll let you know when you're back. But I can definitely hear you, so we can definitely hear you. We just and it paused you in a very beautiful position. You look very. It wasn't an awkward, strange position, so it's good.
Aww. You gave me such a good excuse to get dressed up and cute.
I know.
All right.
Well, I always laugh that I'm like dressed up and cute from the waist up.
I know, right?
And I'm like,
okay,
jogging pants.
So don't hang up and dial back in. Don't do that.
Okay. Hi, Amy. Hi, Jeanette. We're gonna just let people know, you know, this is, again, it's the way we start our week on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, and we're gonna be doing it every single week and having new guests every single week. And then we also, on Wednesdays, tomorrow morning, we'll have a Dancing Familias class where I teach a class with my little ones, or attempt to teach it with the little ones. Sometimes they participate and sometimes they don't. But it's for families, it's for it could be also for your kids if you need to have them be dancing for an hour and you want to go do something else. That's also totally fine. But just trying to support families. And then also our Thursday class, we're doing a company class, which is a rotating artist from Contratiempo who's teaching and sharing their knowledge and love. And then we're gonna, and all of these are free, by the way, and that's a rotating artist. Every single week is different, so the class is completely different every single week. And it is a company class, but it's also a community class. So we're working on, here we go, we are working on making sure that that we can have it be something that people are being challenged physically, but also that it's accessible and everybody can join in and connect. So all three of those events are happening for free. Just follow. Oh, and just in case. Very good. Here we go. Do you see me, Marjani? I accepted her. Hold on one second. Add. I'm gonna try to add her. So thank you as you bear with us as we get this figured out. She's gonna be back in a second. So if you do have, yeah, there she is. Yay! Okay, great. Does that work? Beautiful. So let's just jump in, because I know that Instagram will kick us off right at 2 o'clock. So okay. We have exactly an hour. Okay. And I just wanted to, like, I mean, I don't like doing the like bio intro. We most of pretty much everybody in our community knows how incredible you are and who you are and how you're connected. But also, I know it would be amazing just to hear a little bit about like how you got where you are. Like, where did your journey start? The you know, not the elevator pitch, maybe the 40-floor elevator pitch. how you wound up here, like where you are now, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. I so love the rugged nature. Let it always be this way.
Yes, please.
I mean, I'm so down to polish and grow, but let us always be experimenting with like new shit. Let the next thing be like an ear dot where we can, like, you know, just I'm just about ear dot. # ear dot. I'm just saying. Let it always be clumsy a bit. Yes. Yeah, it's all the shit that we do, you know. We're artists, we start doing our thing and we keep we keep plucking away at it and seeking truth in it, you know, seeking things that give us goosebumps, but also the things that connect us to history. Mm-hmm. And give us some life, or help us to be envisioning a future, and we like latch onto those things. And so I feel like that's been my journey, not unlike, you know, students who I've connected with or worked with, or compadres who, you know, I work with, mm-hmm. Like yourself. And so, you know, we started in that training, the good old Ailey school, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's so funny. I just spoke with a mentor, and I call him Papa Steve Simeon, and yes. Karen McDonald, and, you know, Karan Lehman, and Naila, who's my very first, Naila Randall Bellinger, very first dance teachers, you know what I mean? And then college, we do that whole thing. And then, you know, I think there's always the hard road, which I think is super important to the story. All of my references, heads up, right, is going to be kid stuff, because I have a 4-year-old and all I watch is animated movies. So get ready for it. Yes. But you know, the Spider-Man story, you know, they talk about the origin story with Miles
Yes.
Morales, and they're like,
Yes.
damn, it's a hell of an origin story.
Yeah.
We all have it, you know.
Totally.
And so it was dancing for that company that, you know, made me feel like shit, to understand what it meant to find a home that empowered me and noticed who I was and the assets that I was bringing and how to build on those. And that company, that home company, was Urban Bushwoman, and working with Jalale Willa and you know, working with all of those incredible, powerful, who I think she likes to call us medicine women.
Yes.
With a lineage of medicine women. So, you know, you're stepping into something of the only thing I can think of that may be anything like it, but that I don't know personally, is like a sorority, of one of the Black sorority system or fraternity system, where you're a part of a network that is working. You know, you're part of a net that works, coming out of PSAP, you know. And so Urban Bushwoman is also that, you know, like all these kind of like, you know, concentric circles that expand. And while with Urban Bushwoman, then I reconnected with Nia Love, who we learned was like my third grade teacher, like
what?
In an independent African school, like out in Pasadena.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. Our families are so connected, and we didn't know. So we started making work together, and it was really me studying from her. You know, like to this day, I'm like, me, Nia. But learned and continue to learn so much from that powerful human being who is still like shining like a freaking supernova. Oh, it's just endless. You know, and I think, and just going from there, I think I've always wanted to make dances. You know, started doing it. We're going to talk a bit about spirit today. Started doing it within the framework of church, growing up in the AME church, but really understood in that process what it was for art to affect the human spirit, and to move people. And so I think I've been seeking to do that with my body and with my mind and with my memory and with my heart ever since.
And you do so beautifully, Marjani. I mean, it's one of the reasons I wanted to. You're frozen again. I don't know what's happening, but I can hear you like clear as a bell. But you're like mid. Is everybody else seeing a frozen Marjani, or am I the only one? Can people just comment real quick if that's what you're seeing? Because if they're not seeing that, then I'll let it go. Can anybody answer?
Anybody seeing a frozen Marjani? Am I still frozen?
If people aren't seeing a frozen Marjani, maybe it's just my connection, but it seems like you're frozen. But I can hear you fine, so I kind of feel
okay. Well, let's push forward.
Let's push forward. Yeah.
Frozen. Liliana says, "Oh, she's frozen. She's frozen. She's frozen."
I'm frozen.
Some bullshit.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. Should I come out the garage?
Maybe try to move your location to like closer to wherever your modem is.
My internet is good.
Your voice is super crisp and we can hear everything you're saying. So I'm also like, you know, like you said, let's just figure out different things. Frozen.
Still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen, but I can totally hear you.
All right.
So you want to? If you're cool to keep going, I'm cool to keep going.
I'm cool to keep going, unless it's a super ugly face.
No, you actually look really like you are. Yeah, Charlie's saying, let it go.
Let it go.
Let
okay,
it go.
It's done. We're ready to move on.
So I think it's a beautiful face. You look very expressed, or can't call you mid-expression, but it's
Adelie. Hi, mommy. Okay, all right, let's go.
So so no, I would love to just like jump in, because I know that was one of the things you were talking about, your like starting from a place connected to your own spiritual practice and connected to your family's spiritual practice, and like and just feeling like where we are right now, this kind of the forced quarantine or the sheltering of what's happening, how people's, in many ways, what's happening right now is slowing everything. It's putting a halt on you know, on so many things, and in so many ways, it's actually like empowering us to be and connect in all kinds of new and different ways. But how has spirit, affected who you have become as an artist, who you are as a mother, and also how is spirit being like, how is spirit present right now, and what's happening right now in your life?
Yeah, wow. I so appreciate this conversation. I'm moving a little closer to my modem too. Because this is actually a driving inquiry for Everett and I, for my partner and I, who you know is who you may remember as a composer, sound designer. Both of us are out of work right now, just for reference.
Well, yeah, we all are.
The whole family is out of work.
Yeah.
But I think this is, again, like I was saying, a driving inquiry for the initiatives that we're building, because what we're also realizing is that it is, whether you call it spirit or energy or whatever it is that in relationship to our skills, that is giving birth to our ingenuity and to our survival. Is giving us the power to, or the gall to continue. And we come from a lineage where that is the case. You know what I mean? Like, that is what it is to be of culture. And is to be able to not just envision, or not just to not this necessarily just the act of futuring, but the act of futuring as like materializing and enlivening and knowing that the intangible is at work in your life. And so that's what I come from. So remembering that has been like really essential to any version of my perpetuity, whether, you know, it's getting through super hard rejection in this field, or on the more high note, or whether it's like having the courage to really manifest something that you've been sitting on.
Well, I love that even as art making, because I think so much of art making is futuring, it's envisioning this. It's not only envisioning, it's like having the faith that what you're envisioning is going to happen, or is possible, or is already there in many ways. Like working towards something that you know exists beyond you. Which I feel like there is something in the uncertainty of every single day has been like, we don't know exactly what's happening moving forward, and there's this kind of deep faith that when you have that connection, there's like this ease that is possible. Yeah, it's
an ease and a courage.
yes, absolutely.
Maybe even like a kind of radicalism.
Yeah, talk a little more about that. What do you mean when you say radicalism, Marjani?
Oh my God, it's so crazy we're having this conversation. It's like because I'm teaching a graduate comp class at Cal State Long Beach this semester, and we were literally just having this conversation that sometimes when you say culture, people envision someplace other. And they envision it at a time that like belongs in anthropology books or in history books. And then what it is that I know, like truthfully, in terms like historically about culture, is that it's always been a driving force of ingenuity. It's always been at the core of risk and resilience. And so I think spirituality is a part of that. Like what makes culture is how people worship, how people sing, like what brings people life. As we come, you know, like in that short way that PSAB really helps us tap into that, the People's Institute for Survival and Beyond. So I think
say peace out really slowly again so people hear that, because
the People's Institute for Survival and Beyond, you'll hear me quote it a lot as a core of our work, I would say, Ana Maria, as organizers, but also giving us some really fundamental language to articulate the structures and places that we are working in,
Absolutely.
and how to be critical lovers of those things, of those systems and institutions, so that we can like really materialize liberation, you know, for our children.
Yes.
So, you know, there's that with PSAB, and what it is that one of the fundamental or operative things of PSAB is inviting people to bring in their culture, that which gives them life. And the thing that gives us life also is of course the thing that gives us courage, that dares us to step into new territories and to try new things, not just for sustainability, but towards this notion of futuring. And so it breeds radicalism, you know. So I think that's what I was speaking to when I said that.
I love it. Well, and so I'm hearing you talk about the future that we're building, right, for our young people and for our little ones. You actually are the first mother that I'm talking to. Actually, that's not true, because I did talk to Sisa, but there's I'm sorry, my son is peeing in the background right now.
Oh, that's okay. I can hear it.
Close the door, Sid, please.
It's okay. I'm in the bathroom too. That's how it goes.
But there is this since a lot of the sort of mother artivists that I know and that who are very much an influence in my life have older children, like their children are kind of in another place, and I know that, you know, we're both in the thick of it in the same way right now. Which is a very different experience when you can't plug your child into a device to homeschool with the teacher on Google, whatever. It's like it's very hands-on, like what we're doing right now. So I'm curious, how is that showing up in your being with your child 24/7 inside of this? Like right now, like how are you because I know it's deeply like what you're talking about is deeply affecting the way that I'm like approaching this homeschooling situation, life schooling. But I'd love to hear a little bit about that from you.
Well, I think there was some things that I'm so mad that I'm frozen right now. Because if you could see my face, it would be so hilarious because I'm cracking up. And I got really cute.
If you want to call back, you could try it again, because it did.
No, they told us to let it go. They told us to let it go.
They did tell us to let it go.
So I'm gonna do that. Plus, it takes a long time to get the prompt from Instagram.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that I've been spending a lot of time in meditation, and to that, I owe also a lot of gratitude to Sabela Grimes, inviting us into this meditation journey, and that's been really great. And so there's been like all these little light bulbs popping up, and one of those light bulbs that popped up, Anna, is that, you know what, parenthood is as individual as the kid who came through you. Like, no kid is the same. Or to you. That's right.
Exactly.
The kid that came here is an absolutely unique thing, person, everything. Their unique set of memories and everything. And while it might interact and all that other stuff with other people, the point is they're requiring something very unique out of you. So stop comparing yourself as a parent. Like, number one, I am gonna stop comparing myself.
Totally.
Because quite frankly, if you're emailing me right now, you got a good 2 days before you hear back from your girl. That's just what it is.
That's good. I mean, that's a good.
You got a good 2 days minimum. That's just what it is. And I realized, like, I was like, you know, such and such is doing this, such and such, they're able to do this, they have such a system. And I'm like, yeah, but Marjani, one, they don't have NCOSI. Two, you are not them.
Yes.
So you gotta like really just tap into your layer of excellence. You gotta keep tapping into systems and ways of moving that work for you. And you gotta just be loving with yourself. Stop telling yourself that you're not enough. Camila, you know, you got my girls. You gotta just stop telling yourself that you're not enough. And I'm really, really bad at that, honestly.
So I think most of us are, though. I feel like so many of us as artists are actually some of the most judgmental to ourselves human beings that I mean I deep like again, this is like medicine like medicina hearing because it's our judgment of one another, of not even of one another, but our comparison of ourselves to others is our detriment in many ways. And that like deep presence, I think, is what I'm getting so just like tapped into inside of all of this, is that like there's so many parts of this that we can't control, and like complete, and including the human being that was given to you, right? Like that little person is on their own trajectory, and there's so much release and letting go and allowing necessary to be able to, like, you know, to do this, to just do it, period.
Yeah, totally. Shit. I mean, I say it, you know, even as I say it to myself, you know, I'm going through it right now. I'm going through it with my body. I'm going through it with my, with my age. I'm not even, what? Really? Like, why am I going through it with my age? But I am.
Right.
I'm going through it emotionally with, like, my capacity and my range and oh man, and I think I'm praying about it every day. And you know, I think I'm just wanting to arrive first at a place of grace, of, you know, and of in that, I realize, I think I feel like it's only in that grace that I'm going to find the consistency that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just do it. You want to, okay, then go just lay down and just do those things. So last night I was really late doing abdominal workouts and planks because I can't do it in the morning. You know what I mean? I can't do it in the morning because I'm doing the homeschool. I can't do it in the afternoon because I'm doing the food prep. You know what I'm saying?
No. Amy Shemshan Santo, hello, I see you. She's like, stop, y'all.
I know. You get to age, boo. Yeah, you're right.
Because truly, Marjani, there is this. I mean, I feel like so much of, like, the reason I feel so frustrated with age has less to do with, like, the number of years and more the just level of exhaustion inside of this time period of parenting that we're in right now, which is such a drain on your energy and being, because you're you know, creating a human being, to, like, you're raising a human being into the world, and there's, like, a level of that I know it's not always going to be this. I know it's not always going to be this hard, and I feel like there's a level of, I was talking about this with Marta Gonzalez too, is like at the age of around 3 or 4, you start kind of like being able to, like, see past the you're like emerging your head out of the abyss.
Yeah, that's right.
I was kind of that way with Sid, and then we adopted Luca when he was about 5. So I started over again. So I feel like, you know, in many ways I've been in this abyss for a little while longer. But knowing that, like, like that again, I think it's going back to that love for oneself and that patience for oneself, and that, like, you know, you're exactly where you need to be, and you're trusting that and having that faith, right?
That's right. I know. This is what you say, medicina, for me too. This is I know. This moment though is hard.
It's so hard. It's so
emotional, and it's all good. It's so good though too. You know what I mean?
It's so full disclosure. Last night, like, I had all day yesterday was like like my boys were on it with each other, just like at each other's throats all day long. And by 7 o'clock, I'm like, tap in! Yes. I left. I just took a walk around the block. I was like, I am gonna lose my mind if I don't get out of here.
Yeah.
And
you got 2 boys.
Totally. Oh, three boys. voice. I mean, if you want to count the big one.
Oh yeah.
but no.
Yeah, we'll talk about couplehood another day.
Yes, totally. But I was walking and then saw this little sign somebody had put on a gate that said "Be Love." I was like, okay, I hear you. Thank you, because it's just like continuing to remember, oh my God, that we're all doing the best we can, right?
Yes, indeed, we are.
Yeah.
We are, and thank God for it.
Yes.
These young ones are going to inherit our planet, and they're going to rock the shit out of it.
Yes, they are.
It's just going to ascend, man. They're so dope. They're so spiritual beings. They're so alert and tapped in.
Oh my God.
They're so powerful. So let's do it, Anna.
Yes. Well, and think about even, I mean, what I've seen a couple people talking about this, like that this generation who is like the age our kids are right now, having gone through this moment in time, because God knows how long we're going to wind up being in this situation. We're going to be home, and the things that my children are learning, right? Like we're cooking together, we're waking up every morning, and I'm having the meditate. Like we're listening to meditations. That never happened in our regular everyday life. They're doing dishes and helping me with laundry. Like I'm making them figure out how to, like, how are we all in this together? I'm not saying it's a perfect, we are definitely in it a lot, but there's this sense of like all of a sudden there's been this created space for us to parent in a way that's like really way more intentional than anything that the grind has allowed for. Yeah. That's kind
of. Let it always be this way.
Let it always be this way.
Let it always be this way.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Completely. Well, I would love to hear, are you, what are the things that you're thinking about these days, Marjani? Like the questions, the like, in it. What are those things that are like keeping you up at night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you know, Anna, but so Everett and I, we are working together as 7 Names. Follow us at 7 Names _
I follow you. I do follow you.
Follow us at 7 Names _ but
can you spell that real quick? Just the
7 NMS. Sorry, I'll put it in the.
Oh yeah, put it in the comments.
Okay, 7 NMS.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an _ All right. So we're working on a project about lyricists and that journey, that disciple-like journey, calling it prophet. And, we're likening lyricists just to help folks wrap their minds around the magnitude of what it means to be what we like to call a cultural engineer of our generation or of the generation past. Is we're likening them to, the mythical creature of the unicorn, obviously, is where we left off. Yeah. We're going even further to look at this sort of fantastical notion, though historic. Some of what we've been given through film and story, the fantastical notion of the samurai, to really lean into the discipleship and the discipline of what this form is, so people understand what they're looking at, what they're hearing, and they can get off of their, internalized racial issues to really wrap their minds around craftsmanship as it exists so powerfully in our world. And we're likening, and then we're also really noting this relationship, this almost like we're looking at hip-hop music in particular as a child of jazz music. And reminding people of this really tethered relationship between the forms, coming out of the African diaspora, coming out of the Black and Latino community, the Black and Brown community, Puerto Rican and Dominican communities in the East Coast, and then really sort of transforming the globe. And that's just the music, because
Yes.
hip hop is a culture, because there are multiple disciplines inside of it. And so to really give ode to the magnitude of this form, we're not even attempting to talk about the entire culture.
Right.
We're going to talk to you about this discipline.
Yes.
And we're going to talk to you about this discipline through our lens.
Oops. Now I lost your voice. Hello. Dang it. Oh, Marjani. I don't know if you can hear me, but you should call back. Call me back.
So,
oh, Marjani, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, your voice came out, and now you're frozen and your voice. And I do want to just tell people who are listening that so Marjani wound up working with the company about 3 years ago, because actually it was when Luca was born, and created a piece called She Who, Freedom, Mommy and Me. And that piece, oh yeah, she's back. Okay, back. Great. And she, that piece, because we're at our 15-year anniversary, we're going to be kind of sharing work as the year unfolds. We'll be sharing a little bit of that, hopefully next week, that you can see some of the incredible work that she did with the company. Here she goes. Beautiful. Good. There you are. Yay! Yes!
Now you can see my face.
Yes, I can see your face. I know. I was like, okay, now we lost your voice. Déjalo. Llámame, por favor.
I'm gonna have some real issues with Spectrum.
I know. It's all good. Well, you went inside. I can see you're inside now. Are you closer? Are you like right next to the modem?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about all of this, these questions, these things that you guys are working on, is it a piece, or is it that's part of the
That's a great question. Yeah, it's a project. So it's manifesting in a couple of ways. It's manifesting as a live performance work that interacts with AR. We're working with an incredible AR developer, Cisa Bueno, on some ideas on how audiences can interact with this story on a couple of platforms. Again, embracing the notion of radicalism and stepping wholeheartedly into these various mediums to tell these stories. It's manifesting as a piece of literature. We're working with Omi Oshun and Sharon Bridgeforth on crafting this writing that uses some of the hallmarks of Everett's life to highlight some of the journeys of the MC lyricist.
Yes.
And so we had one of our earlier meetings last week, and it was so wonderful. I think what's really exciting about working with Omi Oshun Jones in particular is her great study around jazz music.
Hold on.
Who's that, Luca? Is that Luca?
No, that's Sid.
Oh, hi, Sid.
I am doing an interview right now on my phone, and I cannot give you my phone right now, so you're going to need to wait. Okay? No, I cannot do it on my computer. I'm doing it on my phone right now, and you need to go in the other room and listen to whatever you have. Okay? He's convinced that my phone has an audible that his computer doesn't.
Oh, okay.
That's not how it works. But that's
yeah.
Sid,
it's the Siri. It's the one with the Siri.
Okay, am I gonna need to go into the bathroom and lock the door, because I need you to give me? I need you to give me 5 minutes, and then you can. No, sorry, not 5 minutes.
Mama artist.
22. Yeah, 22 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you kidding? No. Shoot, I'm using Sid's time with the audio. That's how they feel.
Like,
I don't even get to watch my own shows. That's why all my references is animated cartoons and shit.
This is Lara Carla. She's I'm watching this with the baby's wrapped around my chest. Like,
oh, yes, exactly. Give up on your TV until after bedtime. It's a wrap. But no. So we're working on, so it's manifesting as a piece of literature. It's manifesting as a performance project. Manifesting as a short film.
Nice.
We'll talk to you more about that as it begins to unfold.
Oh.
There's some things in the book, but I can't really talk about
like
it yet. And then lastly, of course, it's an album. It's a
yeah.
music project.
Of course.
Yeah. So we're really, we're really looking at how both the ephemerality of performances is really being challenged right now in a way that's exciting, actually.
Yes. Yes.
Because at last we get a chance to give audiences that may not necessarily be in theaters an opportunity to sink their teeth into the impact and world of dance and performance making.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, again, let's step wholeheartedly into that. Let's elevate what people are experiencing as art becoming through the commercial lens. That's often being directed by people who are more invested in profit than in storytelling.
Yeah.
And once we elevate storytelling, we're elevating culture.
Yeah.
And so in that is an elevation of humanity that is anti-racist at its fundamental level.
Yes.
So there's some opportunity here. You know what I mean? There's some opportunity here to do some dope shit.
Yes. Yes.
So we're doing that as Seven Names by telling a really specific story that sits within this context of what we like to call some of the unicorns of our field. We know a few dope ass lyricists, MCs, but the excellence of the craft isn't only based on who we know.
Yeah.
A lot of times the excellence is really rooted in this idea that folks are doing this their entire lives.
Yep.
It really is a discipline that sits with them the way it sits with us as dancers, the way it sits with us as instrumentalists. And so we get to tell that story using an array of mediums and with an array of contributors, working with Mina Murugesan, who worked with us with Unicorn, and won a dope Bessie for the amazing work that she does in terms of enlivening the space in real time with projected media, but that is contributing to the conversation. That's not just repeating what you're seeing.
Exactly.
And I really love her insight and her contributions in that way. And Cisa Bueno, and am I missing anybody? I am missing our Juliet Jones, incredible violinist. There's just like an array of people behind this thing. Yeah. Powerhouse people, yes, innovators and excellent people in their own crafts who are doing this thing. So,
well, and I just love also this way of also thinking. I mean, I think that this is kind of the direction that our fields are moving is that our art making be about lifting one another up in a way of and pulling in those folks who the mastery is with life versus mastery of what are your accolades, what are the things that you can mark down, where you studied and what do you no, it's actually is it in your life, and have you been practicing it, and that practicing that kind of mastery being held up as a power versus seen as not as rigorous or not as mean, even the universities are shifting in that way. It seems like it's slow, but there's the fact that they're starting to become departments where hip hop is a core curricular area versus it being an elective always, or that they're teaching advanced versions of salsa or Afro-Cuban versus just always the skating the surface.
The elective
as the elective, right?
That's right.
So it all feels kind of tied into that.
It is. I think the other part of this project that is exciting is Everett and I have been doing a great deal of local organizing. And the hardest part of that is that we're bi-coastal artists. So we spend part of the year in Brooklyn, in New York, and we spend the other part here in California. And so we were looking at what is it about this idea of having a really important local root and having this super enriching and important relationship to our artist networks and families on the East Coast. And we realized that through our conversations around art and power, who we talked about a little bit at the convening at Jacob's Pillow, is that we get an opportunity to, as an organization, if we were to look at art and power, to look at our projects and the interdisciplinary or cross-sector nature of those projects, to look at them as initiatives, to look at them as ways to support and further the work of cross-sector action, so that people are not looking at art as the elective, but rather the avenue of innovation. And so that's really, and so the people who we work with think like us in that way, are thinking about art as an avenue for innovation and ingenuity and community building. And so Art and Power is the other thing that I'm dreaming of all night and building with Everett. So our pillows are very busy.
I was gonna say blah, 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 blah.
Ever talking. That sounds gross. I mean, like, you know, talking.
Yes, but no. But I'm saying, are you ever sleeping? It's like you're constantly like, what's next? What's next? What's next? It would be. It's. I mean, it's got to be wonderful, and it's also probably got to be a little bit like, okay, now we have to turn it off.
Oh yeah. Or like, let's remember we're a couple and we love each other. How about that?
Yes.
There's that.
And there's that. So I would love to just open up if there are people. I know that people have been coming and going, but if anyone who's there right now does have any questions, any things that you'd like to have Marjani speak to or speak about, or any specific questions, this is an opportunity. Definitely put it out there. But while we're waiting for people to do that, are there? I mean, that we're going to definitely be following. Hopefully people will be following that project as it emerges. Is there anything that you have going on right now that you want to share about and make sure that people know about, or else that you weren't able to say?
Yeah, just follow us on 7 Names. I promise to be the gift that keeps giving. We're going to be contributing to all of the things that are happening in terms of like sharing the art through these avenues that we have right now. We are a home of artists, and so our stage
also,
is our home.
I saw that like his thing the other day. I was like, okay.
He's hilarious. Yes, so you know, through 7 Names, I think you'll learn about the project, but you'll also get glimmers of Art and Power. I see my brother Shakir, Kirkpatrick Tyler of St. Mark's AME Church, and works also with the mayor of Los Angeles on here. And want to shout him out for the work that he's also doing with us with Art and Power.
Yes.
So just let those names ring out and follow us on Instagrams. That's all.
I love it. No,
I'm so grateful for you, Anna. Thank you.
Of course. Again, we need to be raising one another up, and I just want to also have this be a platform where people get to see the incredible work that's happening out there and meet some of the incredible mamas of this worwant how do we use art to get people through this time is a question. How would you want to jump on that one?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think my first thought is that through the storytelling, we're reminding, like, just sweating on camera. Just straight up sweating on camera. For me, when I see it, it reminds me that we're here. I was telling my partner Everett, I was like, sometimes I had like this, almost had a panic attack that we're like in something like Groundhog Day. You know that movie where the day was just repeating? The day was just repeating over and over again. And I was like, almost had a panic attack. And when I start sweating, I remember that I'm here and that we're working and that this isn't an end. And to me, when I see that happening on people's videos, when people are performing and posting it on Instagram, when they're sharing their quotes and they're sharing their wisdom, I'm just reminded that we're vibrant. And there's nothing that I can imagine that does that better in a more crafted way than the artists. So fund your artists. Your artists. Support your local artists, because they are what is going to maintain the morality of people in this really complex time.
Well, and it's they're our critical lifeline. I mean, we are the lifeline, right, of what's happening right now. I mean, I literally feel like there's this. I love that so much about sweating, and I also love that there's this way that artists are figuring out. I mean, like you were just saying about even how we're rethinking live performance. We are continually innovating as things are shifting and changing, and that's the nature of our work. Like that's what art making is.
That's right.
Is there all these things coming at you and you're figuring out how to move and manipulate
That's right.
Yes, and survive, but survive in a way that's bringing us more power and more love and more connection in that survival. And so I do think that there's a way. There's a way that art is going to be the lifeline of moving us forward as humanity. After all of this, I just feel like I'm hoping that this is going to move us to have more at the center of all of the acknowledged center, right? Laquana's asking how have you found funding for your projects in the future?
I see Laquana asking me that. Yeah, trying to get up in my business. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, girl. How have I found funding for my projects? Yeah. So, that's a really good question. So we're all tapping some of the same resources right now, right? All these national networks, right? National Performance Network, MAP Fund, Creative Capital, Jerome Foundation, what else? Dorsuke.
The Center for Nonprofit Management, the for Innovation, California Arts Council.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we're all tapping a similar network. I'm really interested in building more personal relationships with folks who are interested in directly investing in the artist, in the storyteller, in the spiritual leader, in the writer and the archivist, the photographer. I'm interested in connecting with folks who are wanting to put their resources and their energy and their power behind direct investment. Yeah. Because I believe that it's about networking and relationship building. And relationships aren't on a grant timeline. No. Relationships understand the ebb and flow of resources and time. And I know that gets kind of complicated, but I think if we consider that we are working within a construct, but we do not have to become that construct, that we could innovate the way that this thing happens. And so I think that what I love about how we've been envisioning Art and Power is that through these cross-sector relationships, we don't have to keep tapping the only source, the few 10 found donation, places. We can connect with the departments. We can with other academic departments. University departments, excuse me. We can connect with the other institutions that are also holding up our local communities. And help them understand the role that art both tells a story of what they do as a service, but also tells a story about how they rely on the people who are in those communities. And so I think that's the route I'm interested in going, LaQuania. But right now, I am still very much in relationship with the Jerome, the Dance USA, you know what I mean? Which I'm super duper grateful for. I've been way blessed in that area, and I continue to be in conversation with those organizations about how to deepen our impact. Yeah. Well, and also did you read the book Decolonizing Wealth? Have you read that? Oh, no, I haven't read it yet. So good. Well, it's about how so many of the foundation, the philanthropy world is so rooted in colonization and rooted in the inequities that our country has been built upon. And also just looking at that as a mode to continue to decolonize our work and to continue to look at how are we creating in a way that is not continually propping up and setting up this system that isn't working. That not only isn't working for most people, but it's just not working, period. That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's and it's the thing I know for us as a company, our individual donors, all of our individual donors are much smaller donors. We haven't as a company really had many large donations or been able to, because so many of the people we work with are not rolling around in money. That's not exactly. I know. So how are we kind of re-looking at our relationship with wealth and our relationship with also community organizing and building, because it's so powerful
you can build power and financial security through numbers, right? Like through
That's right.
connecting to many people also. So I feel like that's also another way that I know that we're trying to figure out strategically, like how do we actually have the support network around the work that we're creating,
That's right.
not be about like one individual rich person, you know? Like
That's right. That's right. I know. I mean, I think we're also
it's
asking.
Obama. It's what Obama did.
Right.
It's not me.
It's Obama. That's right. I think we were also asking, like, how can artists stop being in the class of the place that we cannot reinvest in artists?
Yes.
Like, how can we build financial wellness and wealth as artists with the built that we have to, like, you there?
Yep.
Okay. To, like, reinvest in artists.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Sorry, my phone actually said it was gonna die. I was like, oh, no.
Oh no, that's okay. I had to plug mine in too.
I had to plug mine in.
Yeah.
Well,
but so I think I'm just trying to ask that too, like, like how do we use our resources? Like, can our apartment, in Brooklyn be a resource for artists to be in residence in Brooklyn? Can our home in California be a resource for artists to have a silo space in California? Like what can we really get creative about this thing?
Yes.
I think these are what we're asking, what we're trying to manifest. And then COVID-19 happened, and
yes. But COVID-19 happened, and how are artists actually playing a role as critical participants in building a society that works, right?
Yes.
Like that's clearly, I feel like this entire thing has been a complete and total shit show for the systems in our it's clear that the systems are not working. Like we're clear, right? And it's like exhibit A of all the systems not working. So how can artists be a part of like really reframing, thinking about like tearing those systems to the floor, which they're already being torn to the floor, and then rebuilding in a way that works for people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm conscious that we're gonna get kicked off in a minute.
4 minutes.
But if there is one more like quick question, but I also because I was really bad at doing this last week, is making sure to just say, Contratiempo again is continuing to do these place at the table conversations every single week, every single Tuesday at 1:00 Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time 4:00. Really want to have people join us and be a part of this conversation. And if you all do have anyone that you think, I'm gonna keep interviewing the people I love who are my friends, they're amazing, but I'm also open to interviewing people I don't know. It's not really an interview, obviously we're like more in conversation, but this idea of like continually moving forward the powerful work that's happening out there. So Marjani, I was so glad that you guys.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. You helped me remember that I'm here. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you so much. And we are doing some sweating together too. So we do our Dancing Familias class on Wednesday mornings at 9. Please come, and anyone's welcome. They just need to RSVP. I hope to see you there.
I know.
And then Thursday at 12, we would love to also have people there at it's a class that's gonna this week, I think. Oh my gosh, who's teaching, y'all? Who's teaching Thursday? Oh my god, I should know. It's Stanley. Stanley's teaching. Yay! So Stanley, who is our community engagement coordinator, fierce mujer dancer who's been with our company for a few years. She's going to be taking us. Thank you, Jeanette. Stanley is going to be taking us through an amazing, beautiful, grounded, juicy class. So come and join that. Again, it's free. And the reason we're doing all of this is to continue having us all move, connect, and be together. If you do, what was that? if you can, I know, I don't even ask. If you can donate, we would love to have donations. We do have a Venmo page that we just set up, and you can also donate on our website on contratiempo.
Sorry. You're on the somebody. I'm getting kicked out of the bathroom because
I love it. You're in the bathroom. I love that you're in.
Yeah. Mommy artist.
Like the only place that's safe. Well, Marjani, we love you so much.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. I
Thank
really
you so much, Anna.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God, I
Thank you.
appreciate you so much. And I do want to just say, we're on our 15-year anniversary too, and we are going to be sharing a little bit snippets of She Who.
Shut up! Awesome!
Part of, like just looking back at 15 years. So
That's
it's a piece that I think still is going to be coming back one of these days.
I hope so. We do love that. I love that piece, man. You guys are so beautiful.
I do too.